Hi, I'm Aimee Cross, and I want to help you begin your genealogy research. So what's one of the first steps that you need to take as you begin genealogy research? Find a place to put it. Today we're going to talk about building family trees, so stay tuned. So you're ready to begin genealogy research and you're not exactly sure how to start. The first thing that you're going to need is some type of software to store all the information that you're collecting. You can do this on paper, but today with all of the advantages that you have digitally to you, I don't recommend that. So let's talk about the different options that you have on where to build your family tree. The first is an online platform like Ancestry, Find My Past, or MyHeritage. Those are the three biggies, and I'm going to talk about each one of those in a moment. The second is a program that you hold on your computer. I'm going to discuss just two of them. There are a number of them out there, but these are probably two of the most popular. The first is Rootsmagic, and the second is Tree Maker. Let's begin with Ancestry. Ancestry is probably the biggest platform out there. They not only have the most DNA kits in their database, but they have the most trees as well. I also think Ancestry is very user-friendly and is pretty easy to understand, at least easier than the other options that are out there. It's my favorite and it's where I spend the most of my time. It is more expensive, but it's not that much more expensive than some of the other sites. Here is a screenshot taken from Ancestry on November 3rd. Their pricing changes periodically, and actually this is a good time to be looking into a membership for one of these sites because they run holiday specials. Let me just kind of outline what their different memberships are and what that means. The U.S. Discovery membership is all U.S. records. You'll be able to build a tree on Ancestry, and you'll be able to look at all of the U.S. records. Just to note, if you have a membership with Ancestry and then you decide you can't afford it anymore, you want to put it on pause, your tree will not disappear. Your tree will still be there and you can still see it, but you're not going to be able to open up the records that you've attached to your tree. Like you won't be able to see anymore the picture of a draft card that you've attached or a census record that you've attached. So it doesn't go anywhere, and I believe that's true of all three sites. So it's not something that you have to maintain for the rest of your life in order to keep your tree in Ancestry. You can try a subscription for a little while and see if you like it and then continue or not continue, and that's okay, or come back to it in a couple of years. That's the U.S. Discovery package. The second is the World Explorer. That includes U.S. and international records on Ancestry. Ancestry did just purchase Genealogy, which is a French genealogy site, and they're going to have access to those records as well. So if you're looking at records out of the country, it would be helpful, at least for a time period, to be able to see those records with the World Explorer package. And then the All Access package includes all of those things, as well as a membership to newspapers.com and fold3.com, which Ancestry owns. Newspapers.com is a great website. It's got a lot of different newspapers on it. Newspapers are a wonderful way to get information about your family. You'll find obituaries there, and you might find your family in all other kinds of newspaper articles, which can be extremely interesting. Fold3 is a website that primarily focuses on military records, although that's not all. That's where I go always first to search for military records. So having those two sites in addition can be really helpful. But by all means, you don't need to start that way. You can start off with something simple and then you can add on as you go. I just pulled up Ancestry, and today they're already showing that they have a holiday sale. They're showing a 30% off an Ancestry gift membership. You can always gift it to yourself. They're also going to allow you to start a free trial. Here's the family tree of my grandmother, and this kind of gives you an idea of what a family tree would look like. When I click on somebody in the tree and go to their profile page, these are some of the things that I really like about Ancestry. You have your facts listed on the far left, and then you have your sources in the middle. The first are your Ancestry sources, and then if you have any other sources that you have, you can put those below. You can also add web links to a source, which is great. And then you see the parents and spouses and children on the far right. The thing that I really like is if I click on one of these sources, it's going to tell me to which people this source pertains to, as well as the events. So I see that it pertains to his parents and his own name, as well as his birth and his residence in 1880. If I click on an event, then it will show me what the source is for that event. To me, it's really user-friendly. Number 2 is MyHeritage. MyHeritage is based in Israel. They have a lot of European records in their database. And if you're Jewish or have Jewish heritage, they are definitely a place that you're going to be visiting sooner or later for records at the very least. I am not as fond of their trees and building a tree on their site, but it's a great resource. MyHeritage has a number of different pricing packages as well. Here's a screenshot taken on the 3rd of November, listing their prices at the time. Now you can build a tree on MyHeritage for free with up to 250 people in it. You don't even really need to pay anything to begin. And so you can give that a try and see what you think. The enhanced trees are more expensive. If you want access to all of the historical records, then you're going to pay additional for that. So you can kind of see the different levels here for MyHeritage. MyHeritage is probably more well known for their DNA tests. They not only have the autosomal DNA that Ancestry has, but they also do the Y-DNA tests and the mtDNA tests, which are trace your maternal line. So I have a tree that I've uploaded to MyHeritage in order to connect with some of my DNA stuff that I put up there, but I don't actively search on MyHeritage using my tree there. I do go on MyHeritage frequently though, as I look for records. There's a lot of great things on MyHeritage. The third option is Find My Past. Find My Past has the largest collection of British and Irish records. Find My Past, as the others, have various levels of membership. The essential British and Irish membership is $10.75 a month. The ultimate has access to more additional records. Again, with this site, you can do a 14-day free trial. You can give it a swing and see what you think. I use this site a lot to find records regarding research that I'm doing in the United Kingdom. They also have an agreement with the New York Genealogical Society, and some of the records that they hold are found on this site as well. A membership to the New York Genealogical Society will get you a free membership, or at least in part, to Find My Past. So if you're interested in New York, that would be someplace you might want to check out. Go to the New York Genealogical Society. It's the New York Genealogical and Biographical Society. I wanted to clarify something for you because there's a lot of confusion about the tree on FamilySearch versus trees on Ancestry and these other sites. FamilySearch is an absolutely wonderful site. I'm on it on a daily basis. Love it. Absolutely love it. The tree that you create on FamilySearch begins with the information about you, which is kept private because you're still living. But eventually you're going to be clicking into other individuals that may be shared. And what you're really doing is helping to create a global tree, essentially a tree that would hold the names of all of the people that have ever lived in the world, which, you know, that's a stretch still, right? But it does combine families so that you start to see familial connections. Great, wonderful thing to do. But as a result, on FamilySearch, what's happening is somebody can affect parts of your tree and you can affect parts of what other people are working on because it's all interconnected. So FamilySearch tree is a great place to go and put information, share the information that you have, and glean information that you can find on FamilySearch. But there are mistakes in it, and because everybody is participating together, somebody might be changing the information that you know is to be correct. So whenever somebody is starting their own genealogy work, I encourage them to have their own tree on a separate site that while others might be able to look at it if they make it public, it's not something that anybody else can change. A final note about these online trees, and something that I see a lot of people get confused about, is if you're looking at a global tree like the tree available on FamilySearch, it's more risky when you make changes because you're messing up everything if you make a mistake. And so you don't want to do that. You're a little bit more hesitant to try out theories or to look into things because you're afraid that you're going to make a mistake that's going to be really hard to correct or that's going to throw some people off. And that's a really good concern. But when you're working on your own personal tree on Ancestry, Find My Past, or MyHeritage, you don't have that problem. It's your tree. And whether you make it public or private is completely up to you. The one thing that I do want to add, if you are going to build a tree on a site such as Ancestry, Find My Past, or MyHeritage, somewhere on that site you have the ability to download a GEDCOM of your tree, and that is something that you want to do occasionally. The reason that you want to do that is if for some reason something happens to their site, you still have a copy of that tree. A GEDCOM is kind of like a JPEG is. We all are more familiar with that. JPG at the end of a document, we know that's a picture. When you have a file that has GED, .GED after it, that's a genealogy file. It's a GEDCOM file, which means that it can be read by any genealogy program. So make sure you do that on a regular basis so that you have a backup of the work that you're creating. Now, the two programs that you can store on your computer, these are totally run on your computer. So you want to be sure that you have a backup of that information as well, whether you back up your entire hard drive or whether you put some of that information on a flash drive. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure that you keep backups of this information as well. You don't want to spend hours and hours and hours working on something and then have it disappear. That's never any fun. So our two programs that I wanted to talk about today are Rootsmagic and Family Tree Maker. Rootsmagic has a free option. And I definitely recommend that you give that a try and see if you like Rootsmagic. It's been around for quite a while and they are constantly updating it, but definitely check out their free version. Rootsmagic also works a little bit with Ancestry and syncs fairly well with FamilySearch if you want to provide information to the FamilySearch Global Tree or take it back from the FamilySearch Global Tree. If you want to get a license for Rootsmagic with the full program, it's $39.95. That's not an annual thing, that's a one-time thing. And they do periodically update it, and then right now they're only charging you $10 if you have a previous version and you're just updating. I used to use Rootsmagic all of the time and have changed my programs for a couple of different reasons that I'll explain in a minute. I've moved to Family Tree Maker. But Rootsmagic is a good program, and the fact that they have a free version that you can download is a great way to begin. I think this program personally is a little bit harder to navigate than Family Tree Maker, but it's a good program. It really is. Now, let's talk about Family Tree Maker. Family Tree Maker was actually created by Ancestry.com, and it was used in conjunction with their program. A few years back, they sold it to Makiev. In the beginning, when they first did that, I was a little worried. Are they going to stay kind of true to the program, still have it sync well with Ancestry? Is this company going to survive? And they've done really well. The reason that I use this program is it syncs with the Ancestry trees. And since I build my client trees on Ancestry, I end up having pages and pages of trees. And so what I do for my clients is that once I've finished a project and I've given it some time in case the client has a question, then I'll save my tree into Family Tree Maker so I still have a copy of it, and I'll delete it from my Ancestry account. Otherwise, I would have so many trees on my Ancestry account, it would be unmanageable. So that's the primary reason that I use it, but I will say they do have a lot of really slick things about their program. It is more expensive as well. They do not have a free version, and right now it's $79.95. So let me provide you some final recommendations. I personally, if I were you, I would start on Ancestry.com. I think it's the easiest place to begin, and you can do a 14-day free trial. You can then download your GEDCOM file after you're done with your 14 days, and then take that GEDCOM file and put it wherever you want. You can try out some of the other programs, or you can work on a program on your computer, like Rootsmagic or Family Tree Maker. So go on out there and create a tree and give genealogy a try. Watch for upcoming episodes where I'll talk more specifically about how to build that tree and how to begin your genealogy research. Please don't forget to click like and let me know if this has been helpful to you. And also, don't hesitate to write any questions you might have in the comments and I'll answer them. If you would do me a favor and click my face and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Have a great day. Thanks.